Hi guys, hope you all are well, and this video is for those who are eagerly waiting to come to Australia, work as a doctor in Australia. And let's get to know the emergency code systems in Australia, because if you are planning to work in a hospital here in Australia, you need to know very well about the emergency code systems in Australia, because this is a unique way the hospital lets the people who are at work know that there is this particular emergency in particular part of the hospital that will need your assistance, or there will be someone to guide you through. So there are about 7 hospital codes in Australian hospitals. For doctors, the most important code is a code blue. What is a code blue? It's a code for a medical emergency where your patient has had a respiratory arrest, cardiac arrest, if they are bradycardic, if they are extremely tachycardic, if someone has arrested and CPR needs to be done, then this code will be activated. In Western Australia, where I work, this code can be activated by doctors or nurses or any healthcare worker, or even a person who is a phlebotomist, if they think there is an emergency happening with a particular patient. So for us, if we want to activate a code, we dial 55 in any of the debt phones or a landline phone, and that will take you through to the switchboard of the hospital, and then you can activate the code. What you have to say them is, it's a code blue in this ward, in this bed, or in the corridor, or wherever that happens. So there will be a medical emergency team in each hospital who attends to these codes or medical emergencies when they happen or when they get announced. So the team consists of ICU registrar, anesthetic registrar who looks after the airway of the patient if needed to, and the residents, whoever working in that particular ward or the area. And in some hospitals, the emergency registrar also goes, but where I work, we don't attend code blues up in the wards. And also there will be clinical nurse specialists also come with the med trolley and equipment needed. So the first code, as you all know now, is code blue, is a medical emergency. And the second code is code red. Red means fire. If there's any smoke or fire, they will call a code red. That means there is a fire, you might need to be in alert that you may need to evacuate if the fire is in your department or where your working area is. So that's code red. And code yellow is the third code, which is activated when there is an internal emergency. At the moment, in our hospital and most of the Western Australia's hospitals, code yellows are quite common because we get a lot of influx of patients, but sometimes there's no access for the admitted patients through EDs to go to the ward, because there is no space in the hospital to move the patients. And then the ED or the emergency department or the whole hospital itself can go into a code yellow, and the administrative group will gather if there's a code yellow is called, and they will try and make some space for the patients who get admitted to the emergency departments to go into the wards, into their beds. And also if there's a failure in water supply, oxygen supply, electricity, which is an internal emergency, there will be an activation of a code yellow. And the next code is a code purple, which is a bomb threat. Sometimes our hospitals get called by different people that they're going to come into the hospital carrying a bomb, or already there is a bomb in the hospital that they placed. So in that situation, you get an announcement saying there is a code purple, which is kind of a stressful scenario for anyone who work in the hospital. And I've got a personal experience recently where we had a code purple, that someone has called our hospital switchboard that they are going to come into the emergency department with the explosive stuff with them. And we had to call a code purple in that night time, and we had to bypass our ED, and there was lots of police cars, and it was quite a stressful scenario in that case. And this doesn't happen all the time. It's very, very rare, and it happens once in a lifetime, I would say. And the next code is a code brown, which is an external emergency. Why is an external emergency is important? For an example, if there has been a major disaster that has happened in your city, a collapse of a building or a big flood, then it is an external emergency. So the patients will be coming into your hospital in larger groups. So that is a warning system to get ready for the emergency situation by the hospital staff. And that's where you call a code brown. And the last code is a code orange, which indicates that we have to evacuate. We have to evacuate all the patients and the staff from the hospital due to some sort of an emergency situation. So those are the 7 codes that we have in Australian hospital emergency systems that any doctor, any nurse, any allied health team, security officer, or whoever a staff member in Australian hospitals should be aware of and should know what they should do. I hope this little video will be helpful for those who are waiting to be working in Australia, find a job in Australia, come and work here one day. So I will catch you in another little video like this, some information that might help you in the future. So until then, have a great day. Bye bye.